What is up, winning team? Finally, my book is up. The book is up. The frigging book is up. It is on Amazon, The End of the Beginning. And I'm here to tell you what it's all about. And I'm here to tell you how it came to be because it's all kind of hilarious. Especially the timing of it all. So yes, guys, the book is out. The link in the description. I managed to fix the error. If you were here, if you saw the video before I took it down, about how I had some error with the alignment of the. Oh, anyway. Not important. The important thing is it's up, it's corrected, we're good to go, I hope. If anybody notices anything, please tell me, okay? Because I can actually go and edit it. Anyway, so how this book actually came to be is quite interesting because, again, this is sponsored by the patriarchy, ironically, because it's all about my theory on the law of entropy starting with Adam and Eve, right? So, I reference that all the time, and I've never really since I made the God versus Science video, which is where it all started, since I made the God versus Science video, my thoughts about the topic have significantly developed, because at first it was kind of just like, not really a passing thought, but something that was kind of stewing in the back of my mind. And then I mentioned it to, of course, the greatest man in the world outside of the Lord himself. And he was like, you should make a video. And then I made a video. Okay. And I did all the research, and hence God versus Science. And you guys know I've just been obsessing over it because I just found the problem. We found the start of the problem of all of the problems of everything going wrong with us as men and women. The first part is our separation from God, and the second part is the lack of teamwork between us as men and women. So I outlined that whole concept from a scientific standpoint, and I'm me officially releasing that as my official theory, because I've been like, well, if scientists, why do other people just get to publish stuff and get to just be known as publishers, whatever? And one of the things I've set myself as a goal in my life, that what I want for myself is, I don't want to be remembered for what I do. I want to be remembered for the way that I think. That's why I invest so much in my mind and in what I'm thinking. So I really want to put myself in. Why can't we be like the people that came before? You know what I'm saying? Or even the people now. So it's me officially releasing my my theory in a written format. Now, I will say this to you guys. Listen, your girl is not one of those pernicketties. I've triple checked every single spelling. I can't be good at everything, okay? I did my best. The content is exactly where I want it to be, although technically speaking, I could go and have written double with how much has changed, because I finished writing the week before my birthday. A lot of things I planned to do the week before my birthday, as you can see. So that was one of the things that was on the list. I was like, I must finish writing it at least by my birthday. So I did. And that's when I told you guys about it. And so, yeah. And so it's up, it's there. I go into the science of it all, of the differences between men and women, and a whole bunch of interesting topics. And I explain even my thoughts about the children a little bit, not massively. But the other funny part about this whole book story arc is how I came to actually writing that book in particular. So it all started with a guy in my YouTube comments, right? Again, what is it with me and this channel? And then. So it was a guy in my YouTube comments, right? And in my YouTube comments, this guy was basically saying like, I was talking about One Piece at the time. You guys remember there's a stint of time where I was talking about One Piece and the flood and all this, and I was connecting all the things together. So this guy reaches out and he's like, hey, we should talk about One Piece. I'm interested in talking about One Piece. I'm also a believer. I was like, okay, this sounds cool. This is fun. We start to talk, and of course it was another case of the patronizing, condescending experiences that I have with the adult population literally most of the time. Like, this is why I know I'm not making this stuff up, right? So it didn't go well. Let's put it like that. It didn't go well because he obviously was wanting to take me out and whatever. We had a few conversations here and there. And in the midst of these conversations, it was one of those where he was trying to like school me as to why I need to like stop watching One Piece because of how it's going to affect my faith. And I'm like, sir, when it comes, no offense, when it comes to the understanding of like the spiritual things, you're like in the baby pool. The only reason you can't see me is because I'm so far ahead. And I feel like that's always the case when people are being condescending. They think I don't know stuff. And I'm like, no, you're the one who's far behind. you're the one who's far behind. I'm so far ahead, you can't see me, right? So it's one of them kind of situations where he was kind of trying to talk to me whilst also kind of being condescending. And one of the things that he was saying was, he was like, and anyways, like, why do you put like all so much of your business out on the internet? Like, it was bothering him. And I was like, first of all, you was not my man's, because if you were, then we group about what I'm posting on the internet, right? Second of all, why are you so bothered that I'm my freedom? And I feel like it's my freedom that bothers people, right? That I just feel free and I don't feel like I need any validation. So that's why people try to like enforce their opinions onto me. So he said that. So what I took away from all of this, whilst he's being condescending and what have you, because he's like, well, you don't understand what the stuff in One Piece is. I'm like, you don't even understand that I'm so far ahead of needing to understand that. I'm using One Piece as a depiction for people to look at, to visualize something. You think I don't know about this stuff? I'm the one who's here waiting for other people to step the freak up about the spiritual things. So yeah, it was another classic. Oh, he's just seen me. He's watched 3 videos. See with guys finding me on YouTube is a bad thing. I work really hard for the men to not know that I have a YouTube channel, right? Because as soon as they do, they watch about 3 or 4 videos and they think they know everything. A lot of you who've been here for a long time, you do actually know a lot, and I actually would value your opinions because you guys have been here for years. But yeah, it happens like that every time. And I feel like they're just bothered and they're just intimidated, to be honest. Because when they actually get to talk to me, and this is the funny thing, that's why I don't like to do this whole online thing. Because it's one thing when you're talking to my videos, and it's another thing when you're actually talking to me, because then you're going to feel the spirit, and it's going to, you're either going to humble yourself and realize that you may need to be the one to regroup, or you're going to step out in pride and retaliate. That's why I feel like a lot of the adult population is so vicious with me. But like I said, I don't make this stuff up. And then after the fact, he was like, I just respectfully said, yeah, it was nice to get to know you, and I think we should just leave that there. And he was like, are you sure you don't want to come out for us to go out for to do this, to go out for this and this? And I was like, and that was the other thing. Oh gosh, see what I'm saying? That was the other thing, because he was trying to be all this stickler for the rules and this stickler for the Lord. And then he says to me, he goes, oh, but I would have sex with you if I had the opportunity to do it. So I was like, why are we picking and choosing? How can we get to pick and choose? When we wanted to be the stickler about One Piece, oh, I'm the one who needs to listen and I'm the one who needs to shout out. But now, oh, you could take the opportunity. And now that's a verbal thing you told me you're going to do. And that's when it all ends. They don't realize this. But anywho, the long and short of it is, in the midst of him going off about how, why am I saying all this stuff on the internet, meh, he was like, he made me think he said, I can't remember exactly how he said it, but he said something to the extent of that made me think, you know what though? I actually should diversify where I'm sharing my information for different types of people. So while he was going off about that, I was thinking, actually, some people genuinely would prefer to, like, say, read a book than to sit and watch the videos. Also, there's only so much I can communicate in the videos, whereas in the book I have like references that you guys can go and check the references of where the things are and all of this. So while he was going off on the end of whatever he was going off on the end of, I was thinking to myself, that's actually not even a bad idea. So I immediately wrote the book after that. I immediately exited stage left from that situation, which I knew wasn't going to go well. Well, I thought we were just going to talk about One Piece, but as is the case, as I made a video earlier talking about this, that I've realized I don't think that I get to live the reality for the most part of just having platonic relationships with the male community, because at some point they always try to do something, even if it doesn't start out that way. Because most of the time, these situations I'm telling you guys even about, that's how it started. Like this other guy, right? The one who what did he do? The one I was telling you about, we went to karaoke, right? This is the one who's in power, right? How did that conversation start? Oh, because I was talking about the Lord on Instagram and we're talking about demons and water spirits, and he sees me and then he slides into the DMs, and I'm thinking, oh, we're just gonna have an innocent conversation about whatever the things to do with the Lord is, and the next thing you know, he's talking about a honeymoon. And this is why I'm like, I think I just can't talk to them at all. It's really frustrating, because I would actually love to have some of these conversations, but then they always cross the line when it comes to that, and I'm just like, well, now I can't speak to you as a woman, a wise woman. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm planning on doing that. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really frustrating, I have to say. It's so frustrating, because I'm like, can we just ever? And it's always so quick. It's like 2 conversations, 3 conversations, 4 conversations deep, and we're just so far up and I'm just like, you know what? And I feel like as well, I think a lot of people think I'm a hypocrite. I can tell you there's one situation where I'll be a hypocrite, and that is individual in question. In which case, listen, we all have our thresholds. I'm still a woman. I'm still a human being. Okay? But I think people think I'm a hypocrite as well, which is funny. So I think that they do this because they think, oh, of course she's saying this online, but like, of course she's gonna, no. Anyway, so that's how it's funny that's how the book came to be. And it's kind of funny because, well, I still won at the end of it because I got to get the book. I got to get a good idea of something I actually wanted to do, and I released the book, and now the book is there, but now he's not there. And honestly, I don't really care because about the way this guy was talking to me. And it was the same similar prideful thing that he did after the fact. Is I don't think he thought I was going to cut him off. Right. And I do it respectfully. That's the thing. So you can't even like say, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to nothing. I'm just going to say, thank you so much for your time. I really think that we should bring things to a close, and I know it's annoying, but I still say I wish you the best and whatnot. And then he was shocked, and he was like, he messaged me back a week later or 2 weeks. I was like, are you still sure? I was like, what do you think has changed in the last 2 weeks? It's the way you spoke to me, because you're being patronizing. The second that men speak to me in a patronizing tone, it's done. Like, it's done. I'm not one of those women who's going to like sit there and take it as if like, oh yeah, you're so right to talk to me in that manner. I'm not going to tolerate it at all whatsoever. I'm going to peacefully remove myself from the situation. And then when you now are concerned or shocked that, oh, she's actually like she's actually like not going to argue or whatever, that's not my business, especially because you're grown men. Because again, this guy was like, I think like 35. So I'm thinking to myself, bruh, what are we doing here? But yeah, so that's how the book came to be. That's what the book is about, the law of entropy. And again, you see what I'm saying about how it's so ironic that whereas we could work well as a team, right? And we have two clear different examples of that happening, right? And now, like, we could have had more beneficial conversations. We could have talked more about the One Piece. I could have figured out more about what he had to say, but he just couldn't humble himself to speak to me in the right tone, in the right manner. And so, no, I'm not going to sit there and just become somebody's punching bag because you assumed everything you know about me because you've seen a couple of my YouTube videos. So that's how the book came to be. That is actually how the book came to be. So because of that conversation where I literally just started to, because this is what I do. This is why I told you guys that the thing is, the way that the adult population treats me, they're the only ones who take the L, because I'm so used to being everybody's punching bag, right? That when people are acting out like this, I know how to just clock out from the things that are being said and the tone of which, and I take away from it what is actually helpful. And that's why no matter what, it's like everybody's working together for the sake of my my success. The Bible says all things work together for good for those who are called. It's like, yeah, of course it would. And I'm not bothered, and I moved on. And it's a shame for him because it would have been nice. It would have been nice to go out on a date with me, to be honest with you. He would have had the time of his life. It would have had such a lovely time, but when only when he messed it up because of the pride thing. And I do think it's pride, because of the fact that he came back afterwards, after he spoke to me in the manner in which he did. I was like, you think I'm an idiot? And I look like one just because I've got a little baby face, and now I've even got my natural hair, so everyone thinks they can just take advantage and treat me however. Nah, it's crazy work, you guys. It's crazy work. But anyway, all is well and all works out for the good. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm going to win at the end of the day anyway, because now my book is published. Now I'm a published author. Just like that. And I weren't even planning on releasing this particular topic, the end of the beginning. I wasn't planning on releasing that as a book. I have other books that I've written over the years that I was going to release. I wasn't even planning on releasing this one, and now this is the first one that's been released. So yeah, I'm going to be spending the rest of this year hopefully trying to like get my life together, because I got a few other books basically near ready to publish. So I feel like I should just put everything out that I already have. But yeah, long live the patriarchy. Long live the patriarchy. But yeah, you guys can see why I say that it's actually the ghetto out here. Like, I'm just here making videos, and then there's people trying to talk to me, and then as soon as they do, and you can see the look on people's faces, it's like the same thing people do with children, and why like adults will have no problem like losing their temper with a child that in a way that would never do with an adult. Because that's what I realized, the way that people talk to me, they would never speak to other adults like that, and they for sure would never speak to another man or to a man like that in any capacity. So when I'm saying the stuff I'm saying, it sounds insane because it's not happening to other people, and I'm like, because you're not in my position. But then it reminds me that this is obviously the position that kids are in. The difference is my prefrontal lobe has fully formed, and I'm an adult, so I can see that this is inappropriate, whereas kids wouldn't know any different. because that was me also for my like a large part of my life. So I would just think, I always thought until like last year, I just thought that all of these things, I just deserved everything that ever happened to me. So yeah, it's kind of deep, but yeah, now the book is there. I'm excited. I'm proud of myself. And like I said, guys, listen, don't go out looking to have some kind of well thought out. Like, I'm not trying to do the old school vibes. I'm not trying to go and like be acknowledged amongst the other authors of everybody following this bunch of set of rules that the jury of the sheep all follow that I don't even know where it came from. I wrote the book as how I would write a book. Let's make that abundantly clear. I wrote the book as how I would write the book. So that's how it is. Yeah, it's not very long, but hopefully there's good stuff in there. If you guys do check it out, do let me know. But yeah, I'm going to link it in the description box below. And isn't it just funny how these things turn themselves out? I just find that funny. I find that also very funny how I made a whole book and I didn't want to release it. That's why I didn't want to release it, because I'm in here just talking about men and women and women and men and men and women. And I'm just like, I'm sick of this topic. I never wanted to talk about it. I've been avoiding it for 2 years. 2 years it took the Lord to convince me. It was back in 2023 and I was just like, Lord, I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to go there. And he was like, you need to go there. And so it took me 2 years. Yeah, even me who's all Mrs. Obedient. Yep. Because this is how much I didn't want to have to talk about this, because now I feel uncomfortable. You know, I feel really uncomfortable even before I made this video. And like, I was just saying to the Lord, I was like, God, I don't know what to do, because I feel I miss the days of just talking about Hollywood and things like that. Now I have to talk about the one topic I didn't want to have to talk about. And the main reason I don't want to talk about it is because I'm only one half of the equation that can offer an opinion. So at any given moment, I could be dropping gems and I could be chatting nonsense for all I know. So anyway, check out the book if you like. Yeah, you guys, if life's a game, let's play to win. Isn't this all insane? Can I just say, isn't this all actually insane? Like the ironies of it all. Anyway, God bless you. If I already said it, didn't I? If life's a game, let's play to win. God bless you. God loves you. I love you. I just realized I didn't write if life's a game, let's play to win in the book. What was I thinking? Anyway, God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.